Hello and welcome to another episode of MBL Timeout Podcast with your host Serp. Today is Monday and it is about 8:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is September 21st and the Bomber League is in week 8. So we've been moving around pretty fast. Got a few things that I want to get to today. I still would like to talk about the kind of a rookie of the year battle we got going on. A few players between a few players right now. I think the main one would be the Colts quarterback Jacob Eason, and then also the Raiders wide receiver Ruggs. I think those are the two that stand out the most. There are a few more that are kind of in the running, but I would say those two are the main ones. And then beyond that, I have let's see here. We have the division standings. Of course, we're always going to go through. Earlier on, I think around week 1 or 2, when I did the first initial podcast, I had predicted that JB would take the AFC East and Motor would take the NFC. Or I'm sorry, JB would take the AFC as a conference overall, and Motor would take the NFC conference. So I kind of want to, revisit that, see if that still stands, and have any division leaders change. It's always exciting when, especially the close divisions where people are flipping, flopping, being on the top of the division, and then who most likely will take the wild cards. And then we have a player spotlight. I think I'd like to add one of these in every podcast where I just pick a player that seems to be standing out, doing well for the team, or maybe one of the main ones on the team. And I have Chinn is who I picked for this one. That would be the Carolina Panthers strong safety Jeremy Chinn, a rookie out of Southern Illinois. So I'll be going over that. If we got time, there may be a few other things I might throw in there. And as I go forward with these podcasts too, I'm going to try to stay in line with these topics and in order as I say them. I know I kind of jump all over the place. But so let's get into it here. With Ruggs and Eason. So if you look at the players themselves and what they've done for the team, I mean, Ruggs and has played the 8 games, so they haven't had a bye yet, and they've played through the 8 games. Of course, we're in week 8 now, and through them 8 games, he has 816 yards and 6 touchdowns. So again, Ruggs is the wide receiver for the Raiders. So at 21 years old, he's 21 years old. So already that's amazing. You'd love to get the rookies at 21. 5'11", not bad. He's on an amazing contract for 4 more years. So, I mean, you got the guy for 4 more years at, like $3 million cap hit, which is amazing. Hidden dev, you always like to see that. Most likely he's going to be superstar. He's got grab and go, so after securing a catch, ball carriers with disability can quickly shift momentum, change direction. We know that when you catch it, you're gone. Really, and get a load of this. So going through his main attributes: speed 98, acceleration 97. Oh my God, his route runnings are in the 80s almost. His short route runnings a little bit lower, but I mean his deep route running 86, mid route 79, catching 86, catching traffic 83, spec 82, jump 94. So 94 jump right there, that's great. At 5'11", I mean that's, if you got 94 jump, the 5'11 is really not that big of a deal. 76 awareness, 88 agility. Agility is a little lower than you'd like. 88 change of direction. So the guy's a beast. 700 or 816 yards already is that's insane. For the rookie, he's averaging well over, about 102 yards per game, 6 touchdowns. So he's definitely played a big part of the Raiders offensive, of the Raiders offense, a gigantic part to it. Unfortunately, with the Raiders being 0-7, it goes. I don't think that really says anything about Ruggs, though. I think that just says something about the Raiders as a whole, and you know, the coaching and some of the other things that go along with that. I hate to have you know, Ruggs in the running and say, well, you know, the Raiders are 0-7, have that impact him in any way, because this guy is just a beast. And even and think about, you know, an 0-7 team, and he's already getting 100 some yards a game. He's got, you know, almost one touchdown every game guaranteed. His statistics, or I mean, his attributes are off the wall. You know, you would think that they would be even more, but you know, it's just, I think if you took Ruggs and you put him on, you know, one of the middle tier teams, like maybe you know, the Bengals or the Bears or the Saints, or, you know, etc. Any one of those ones that are kind of the middle of the division, it would bump them up one whole notch in that division. If they were ranked second or third, they would be, you know, first or second because of him. So, and I think that's the impact that you look for in when you're determining somebody that, you know, rookie of the year, whatever, you know, what can that rookie do for the team? What would they do, you know, in any given situation, you know, based off of the performance that they had with this? If he's performing like this with a 0-7 team, you know, geez, you know, put a couple other pieces around this guy, and it's a wrap. So I really like him. I mean, I would take him, that's for sure. So let's switch gears a little bit here and go to the guy throwing the ball as opposed to the guy catching the ball. And that brings us to the Indianapolis Colts quarterback, Eason, Jacob Eason. So, you know, a little bit about his attributes. What are we working with here? Well, we got, I mean, he's 22 years old. All right. So not bad. He's 66 overall. I mean, obviously lower tier, but he's working it. You know, 73 deep accuracy, 76 mid accuracy, 82 short, 93 throw power. That's nice. 73 throw on a run, 74 play action. And he's not, you know, 76 speed, 82 excel. He's not really that athletic, but I mean, he's taking care of business. And it goes to show that sometimes it's not just about the attributes. It's about the coaching. It's about, you know, the pieces around him, you know, the offensive line, who is he throwing to? You know, so whatever's going on in Indianapolis, I mean, it's working for him. I mean, the guy's got a rating of, I think, 113 even. I think it's 112.3 on Daddy Leagues. It's 113 in game. But you know, he's got 15 touchdowns through, I think he only played 7 games so far. Either they got a bye or he didn't play the 8th. I think they had a bye last week. In any event, they played 7 games as opposed to 8, and you know, 15 touchdowns. So he's getting you 2. He's getting you 2 plus a game with only 6 interceptions. So, you know, I mean, he's been playing very well, and the Colts being 6-1. I mean, are sitting at the top of the division, and they're actually, to tell you the truth, probably if I had to pick another person in the AFC besides JB and the Browns to take the AFC, it would be Nemo and the Colts. So, and if he takes them there, I mean, I could see giving it to him over Ruggs just for the simple fact that he led him to a division win, to a playoff, or even a conference title. I mean, that's kind of wraps it up there. But yeah, he's doing well, and it's fun to see something like that too, because I mean, he's not an 81 rookie. He's not a, you know, he's normal dev. You know, I mean, how long are they gonna keep him around? I mean, I would imagine they're gonna pay the guy if he takes him to a conference. I mean, and he's like not even $1 million a year. You know, I mean, so you got a quarterback. And his cap hit is less than $1 million a year, and he's getting you to 6-1 with a you know, 30%. What is, you know, 15 divided by 5? You know, the 33% interception to touchdown ratio. You know, I'd take it. I mean, of course, I'd take anything because my interceptions are far more than my touchdowns. So, I mean, I'll take anything at this point. But I mean, where would I stand at this point right now? Just, you know, based off of the attributes, the athleticism, the in-game production. I mean, it's really hard. I mean, Ruggs is doing what he's doing on an 0-7 team, and you know, Eason is doing what he's doing, but he's on a 6-1 team. I mean, who does he got around him? Let's take a little quick look and see who Eason's got around him. All right, well, so he's got Marlon Mack, I mean, at halfback, so I mean, that helps out. I mean, that, you know, 24-year-old 89 speed, 92 agility. I mean, you know, he's definitely a solid halfback. That's for sure. So they've got an option in the run game, which helps takes a little pressure off them. They got T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman. You know, they really, I guess besides Hilton, I mean, they don't have a whole lot. You know, young, very young. I mean, Michael Pittman's 22, Zach Pascal's 25, Paris Campbell's 23. I mean, 25. I mean, their whole entire wide receiver squad is under 20, is 25 or under, besides Hilton. So they're, you know, I mean, and they're all, you know, 75, 74, 73. They're all in the mid 70 overalls too. So it looks like Nemo's, you know, keeping his squad young, at least at wide receiver. Let's see what they got for an offensive line here. Where's your offensive line? Well, I mean, that helps a lot too. So they got Anthony Costanzo. He's an 85, 88 strength. Quentin Nelson, left guard, 94 overall, 97 strength. The center, Ryan Kelly, 85 overall, 86 strength. Glowinski at 73 overall and Braden Smith at right tackle at 82 overall. So he's got an amazing offensive line. I mean, compared to, you know, what anybody else would have right out the box. I mean, everybody else is working with 68s and 72s and, you know, you don't see very many overalls. And the teams that you do correlate into, you know, less interceptions, more wins, less turnovers, etc. So, I mean, you know, at this point with what Eason has, and what Ruggs is up against on the team he is, I would say Ruggs for me at this point. You know, everybody's got their own opinion, and if you agree or disagree or you know, whatever, you put some stuff in the comments, get a chat going about it, so I'll respond. So moving on anyway, I guess that's my explanation. It's a little bit of a rundown on both of the players, and we'll move on because I'm already at about 12 minutes here, and I know nobody wants to listen to me to talk for 35, 40 minutes. So that's that. I say Ruggs, and that's my reasoning behind it. So next, let's go over looks like I had division standings and stuff next, and whether JB and Motor are still my picks for the AFC conference and NFC conference. So let's get into that. So a quick rundown on the standings. Let's see, we'll start off with the AFC again, of course, and the AFC East, which would be me. We still got Motor up on top at 6-2 with the Dolphins. The Bills and the Patriots just beat me up. Are both 5-3. So, I mean, that's, you know, it makes for an interesting division. Those are the fun ones. There's Miami Dolphins 6-2, Bills 5-3, Patriots 5-3, and then I'm at 2-7, and I play the Dolphins next week, and then I have a bye, and then I play them again after that week. And the way I'm playing, you know, let's make the Dolphins 8-2. So, you know, Bills and the Patriots are gonna have to work for it, but you know, that's a toss-up right there. I mean, the Patriots played, I mean, their game was pretty good, especially defensively, and the usering in that man coverage was pretty glued to, you know, whatever receiver you had going on a drag or a slant, you know, whatever it may have been. The Bills played good. We have some good games on live. So, you know, that's anybody's division, but, you know, most likely, or I'm sorry, not Motor, that's Miller Thriller. I'm sorry, Miller Thriller is the Dolphins. I just happened to glance at Daddy Leagues, and it still has Motor's face up there, because was his division last cycle in Madden 20. But that's Miller Thriller anyway, is the Dolphins. So it looks like it could be the Dolphins. You know, it's still most likely, you know, I had to put a percentage on it. It would be definitely, you know, up in higher 70s, mid 80s that it's going to be the Dolphins. But the Bills and the Pats are right there. So AFC West, we got the Chiefs at 5-3. The Broncos at 3-4, Chargers at 3-5, and the Raiders again at 0-7. Chiefs are going to take that one. That's almost a done deal. AFC North, Cleveland Browns 7-1, and that's JB. So that's who I predicted to take the AFC. Pittsburgh Steelers with Brad. We got the Bengals with Fat, and the Ravens are 2-5. So 7-1 Browns, 6-2 Steelers, 4-4 Bengals, 2-5 Ravens. The Steelers, Brad, that's my trading buddy, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think JB's got that division locked down. I don't really see anybody taking it. I mean, possibly Brad comes on with a wild card or something. You know, I mean, he's definitely not out of it. But I still think that's going to be JB. And then in the AFC South, we got the Colts, which we were talking about with Eason. The Jacksonville Jaguars are both, one is 6-1, one is 6-2 respectively. The Texans at 3-5 and the Titans at 0-7. So it's between the Colts and the Jags. And that would be Nemo and Eric G. Both really good players. So that one's, I want to say Nemo just because of the way he's been playing, but Eric G is really good, and those Jaguars have been playing really well. So that's a toss-up too. I would lead more towards the Colts, but I definitely wouldn't count the Jaguars out of the AFC South. So switching over to NFC, we've got the NFC East with the Philadelphia Eagles at 5-3, the Washington Football Team at 4-3, the Giants at 3-5, the Cowboys at 2-7. So it's definitely between the Eagles and the Washington Football Team, and that would be Bananas and Gov. The Eagles are playing very well. I think Wentz is one of the top passers in the league right now, and he actually is. He's sitting on top right now with 2,563 yards, 22 touchdowns. I don't have the interceptions in front of me, but I mean, in any event, that's a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns through week 7, or if he did play the 8, it's one of the two. Still, in any event, I mean, we're talking 3 touchdowns a game. I think, I don't know, the Washington Football Team and Bananas is kind of, I don't know, he had a bad cycle, I think, or at least a bad last couple of seasons in the cycle for Madden 20, and it might be his time to just kind of come back and start taking the divisions that he's in. He's got, so it's Bananas, Lip, Gov, and Z-Star, all good players. Lip, surprisingly, at 2-7 in that division is kind of still odd to me because I predicted him to actually take that division. Which is that prediction is blown out the water, but I don't know. That's a toss up too. They're all fun divisions. And then we move to the NFC West. That's definitely not one of the more interesting ones, just because that one's wrapped up. Motor 7-0 and most likely going to be 16-0 by the end of the season. Then you got the San Francisco 49ers at 4-4, the Rams at 4-4, the Cardinals at 3-4. And that's, anybody's second. Anybody in that division could be second. I would imagine the Cardinals are going to come back and start taking care of business, which is Bombers. So you got Motor, Bomber, T-Jax as the 49ers, and Beatdown as the Rams. I think at the end of the season, it's going to be, Bomber is going to be right below the Seahawks. He's going to keep them 4 losses, maybe one more loss. So we're talking 11-5. What would that be? 12-4, 11-5, something like that. And then, Motor will be 16-0. So that's that NFC West. We got NFC North. We got the Vikings at 3-4, the Bears at 3-5, the Packers at 2-5, the Lions at 1-6. So we got the Vikings is who is that now? That's Porter. That's Ports. Got the Vikings rocking 3-4. The Bears is Game Master, who I thought would take that division. Lions is Gibbs, and the Packers is Reese. So I don't know if Porter is going to take care of business there. I mean, it looks like him and Game Master are battling back and forth. I mean, Porter's on top, but he's a game behind yet. So, we'll see when he plays his game, what's going on with that. But that's either one. I mean, I got faith in Porter. I mean, Game Master is pretty good, and he's, I think he's been on top of the divisions that he's been in somewhat consistently. So there's NFC North. So NFC South, Carolina Panthers 6-2, Falcons 6-2, Saints 4-4, Bucks 4-5. So the Panthers and the Falcons, which is Draco and Under Oath. I don't know. That's a little bit surprising, I guess. I mean, well, maybe not. I think I predicted Draco to take the division, but that's good. Wow, 6-2, 6-2. That's another fun one. It's anybody's division right there. And who's looking at the wild cards? Saints might get one. The Bills, if they don't end up taking the division, the Bills might have it. Steelers maybe. That's kind of your playoff picture there. So now with that said, so going back to the actual question that was posed about the divisions and where we're standing now, is JB going to take the AFC with the Browns? I am still going to say yes. I mean, at 7-1. I'm going to say yes on that. And is Motor still going to take the NFC West? I'm going to say yes on that still. So at week 8, halfway through MBL season 49 with Madden 21, our first season of Madden 21, my predictions at the beginning of the year of JB and Motor being in the Super Bowl stand still at this point. So there's that. So moving on to the player spotlight of this podcast. And I picked Jeremy Chinn of the Carolina Panthers, strong safety for the Carolina Panthers. So let's go into some of his attributes. Let me get rid of, I got about 76 tabs open here and I need 3. So we got, get rid of those. So Jeremy Chinn, he is strong safety, Carolina Panthers. He is leading the MBL in interceptions with 8 at this time. 19 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and I think he has one. Let me go into his actual stats here. I think he's got a touchdown or 2. Yeah, so he's got a touchdown, 8 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, 1 sack, 19 tackles. The touchdown, what game did that come through? It didn't really go back that far. In any event, so those are his statistics. Now, his attributes. Well, he's 22, so he's a rookie, 22. He's a 73 overall, so pretty decent. Hidden dev, so you know, probably a superstar. 89 speed for a strong safety. That's pretty good. 91 excel. So 91 excel. He's working alongside Trey Boston at the free safety position. He is, so he's got good company back there. I mean, he's got a decent secondary squad. Dante Jackson, Eli Apple, and then he's got Trey Boston, you know, beside him at the free safety position. So, you know, he's doing all right back there. They've got that. I'm going to murder this name, but Yetur Gross-Matos, the rookie defensive end. Got Brian Burns, Kawan Short. So he's got a nice line too. So, you know, that's helping him out a little bit back there for sure, which is good for him. I mean, you know, all the statistics he's putting down, and if he takes, you know, maybe defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, you know, if he starts to go into that running too, I mean, he's going to get a pretty nice experience boost, and it's going to take him up at the end of the year. But going back to the attributes, 89 speed, 91 excel, 73 zone, 69 tackle, 84 pursuit, that's pretty decent, 80 power, 69 man coverage, 87 agility, 92 jumping at 6'3". So, I mean, that helps. I mean, you're in cover 2 or something like that, you know, or even if he's playing, you know, against the you know, his man coverage isn't the best if he's lined up on the tight end or anything. But I mean, in any event, he's doing good for the team. Definitely doing good for the team. What does he got for traits here? Let me see. He's got high motor, so that's good. Cover line or plays ball in air, yeah. Has he got big hitter? Where's big hitter? No, he doesn't have big hitter. That's the one that big hitter is insane. I mean, if you got that, you're forcing fumbles like crazy. So he's definitely putting in some work for the Carolina Panthers. Now, where does that leave them? Let's see here, Carolina Panthers. So, you know, 6-2. Yeah, so the NFC South with Draco, and he's at 6-2. And Draco, I think, has always somewhat been more of a defensive player, you know, since I've been in the NBL. I don't know, a couple years, 2-3 years. I don't even know anymore. So that would make sense. And they're sitting at 6-2, and you know, 8 interceptions is definitely part of why they're there. So, yeah, definitely a solid guy. And being a rookie, the way he is now, and after this year, the bump he's going to get, he's going to be solid for a long time. And I mean, he's again less than $1 million salary cap. Now, usually some of the safeties aren't usually the highest paid ones back there anyway. But 22 years old, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, he's good all the way through the cycle. That's it. He's got his strong safeties set and locked. For the 7 years at least, 7 seasons, which is about usually what we fit in. So, that's a position done. That's nice. That's always nice as a coach or an owner to have a position that you're good, you're solid, you're straight. You don't even have to worry about for the whole entire until Madden 22. So Jeremy Chinn, strong safety, Carolina Panthers, Draco, the coach and user, solid defensive guy. So let's go over just a few. I just want to see a few of the names that kind of pop up on top of the lists, and then I think that'll be it for this podcast, this segment anyway. So Carson Wentz. So for passing, we'll go through the offensive leaders here. Passing, we got Carson Wentz, Baker Mayfield, both with about 2,500 yards and 22 touchdowns. So they're fighting for the top spot there. We got Tom Brady, Josh Allen, and Kyler Murray is coming to see. There's that Cardinals coming up. See, so Kyler Murray is coming up. Now Matt Breda. Now we got rushing. We got Matt Breda, 1,005 yards already in Week 8. Crazy. 8.8 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns. Touchdowns is a little lower than Ezekiel Elliott, who follows right behind him with 982 yards and 15 touchdowns. I would put Ezekiel Elliott above Matt Breida. I mean, the dude's got 146 attempts, though. So, 6.7 average. Average is a lot lower, but I mean, what a workhorse. What a crazy, insane 15 touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards again through week 8. I mean, if this guy's on pace for 30 touchdowns, that's crazy. Joe Mixon, Phillip Lindsay, Leonard Fournette. Receiving, we got Jalen Reagor, Odell Beckham, both close to 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns respectively. DeAndre Hopkins, Mari Cooper, Chris Godwin are some of the receiving leaders. And then defensively, Devin Bush, 35 tackles, 9 forced fumbles. That's insane. That's insanity. He might be my spotlight for next time, just because I'm super curious about if this guy's going to go. I mean, if he's going to end up with like 18 forced fumbles or something at the end of the season. Devin White with 32 tackles, Marcus May, my guy, 2 forced fumbles, 5 interceptions, 31 tackles, Mike Hughes, Eric Kendricks. Sack leaders, we got Chase Young with 9, JJ Watt with 7, Bud Dupree with 7 and 3 forced fumbles. Shaquille Barrett and Quinnen Williams, which is my guy. I didn't know he was even up there. It's my rookie defensive end for the Jets. 6 sacks, 12 tackles, 1 forced fumble. Nice. Okay, good. And then as far as interceptions, we got Stephon Gilmore, Jeremy Chinn, which we talked about already, both with 8, except for Jeremy Chinn has 19 tackles, a sack, and forced fumble. I'd put him above Gilmore. Rashad Jones, Tre'Davious White. He spanked me. He spanked me when I played him last time. He got a couple off of me. He's got 7, and then Casey Hayward with 6. So it looks like that is about half hour of a podcast. So we'll wrap this one up. And if you got any rebuttals or thoughts or of anything that I had to do during the podcast, you put them in the chat. I'll answer them. That's for sure. But this has been Serp. This is my time, MBL Timeout, and we'll talk at you later.